All right, fellas, Demas again, coming to you another little quick video. Um, I had a request yesterday for a video for PI. Now, I've already touched a few things on PI, and you can see some of the different videos. Robotics was one of them on my YouTube page. But I was requested to give one from like the very, very beginning, try to squash some of the myths, some of the full lore of what can and can't be done, blah blah blah. Again, I'm using the test server so that it's just simplified. I won't have to worry about no bad guys, if you will. But all right, so today the PI from a beginner, or let's say PI for dummies kind of aspect. All right, first myth we're gonna bust is you do not, again, do not have to be at the planet in order to place a command center. As you can clearly see, I have just come out of the station. I've undocked and stopped, and I have my command center in my inventory. And because I'm going to be working with a temperate planet, I'm going to open up a temperate planet, and we're going to get started. All right. Next question was, where do I place my command center? You can place it anywhere on that planet. It don't matter where you place it. It's gonna load up, and that's where it'll take you. Let me show you another quick one real quick. Another quick one real quick. It always brings you to your starting point. So that's where it's at. So no matter where you are on the map, that's on this planet, double click, and it's going to take you to your command center. So that's the focal every time you come in is your command center. So generally what I try to do is put it at where I'm going to have my extractors at, so that that's where it brings me to, instead of me having to look around on the planet and say, where is mine at? And if you want to show other characters, it'll show you where other characters are on the map. Let's look at Aqueous Liquids and open it up, and let's see if we can find us someone else using this planet. I mean, it may not be on the test. Oh, here's one. I thought it was. My fault. Doesn't seem like anybody's using that planet. You would be able to see theirs, and you could look at how they got it configured and everything else. All right, Aqueous Liquids. When you pull up the planet, this is what you'll see. And we're looking at aqueous liquids because we need water for producing some of the POS fuel. And if we can all come together as a unit and produce one POS fuel PI material, it'll take the burden off everybody else. You know, one person doing it all. Let's say Demas, you're in charge of all the POS fuel. Well, that means I've got to get all that PI done. But if you spread that out amongst everybody else, it's a whole lot easier to maintain. So if this is the first time you've ever done the planet, you'll see that that bar is stretched out across like that. All you got to do is grab hold of this arrow, squeeze it down, and then that gives you your most concentrated. And the whites are the hot spots. But I want a more refined area. I want to know the hottest spots. So I'm going to grab in the middle, and I'm going to just pull that little bar in, and that's going to show me where the hottest spots are. And I see that for the most part, this one is the hottest spot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my command center right there. And while I've already got it up, I'm going to upgrade it. And because I've got command 7 level 5, I can go up to the 6th run. So that gives me max power and max CPU. Upgrade. Okay. Submit. Alright, now that I've picked my hotspot, now I know where I'm going to be pulling from. I'm going to lay down my extractor units. And if you notice the area of circumference on that, you can see that's how far out I can stretch all my extractor heads. So I mean if I was placing it, say here, I could touch both of those spots. But I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to put it right at the well, right near the edge. All right. Now for me, my configuration is I like to throw down a spaceport right underneath of my extractor. Then I like to throw down 4 processors. Okay. Now before I would link and hold down the control button and then let off of once you get the line. So I'm gonna link it to there, control, let off link, control, 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 and this speeds up your process. All right. Uh, um, Before I would just link each one, but I found that it will carry around itself up to 6 from this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could go 2 more, but on this application, it's not necessary. All right, I know that I'm going to be doing aqueous liquids, so I know that this needs to be water, so I'm going to go ahead and set that up. Now you could do it like this, where ooh, I have made a grave error. And sometimes it happens. Luckily, I didn't. Actually, let me just hit the cancel. Makes it a little bit faster. So extractor, spaceport. And because I'm doing PI, basic PI, I need the basic uh, factory. Again, linking them all. Now, like again, I know that I need water for this because the aqueous liquids turns into water. So I'm gonna install, create a route, create the route. Now, for the advanced, all you have to do is instead of click, 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 you can double click. It pulls you right to it. You know, water's at the very bottom, so you hit water, double click, and then I want to go to my spaceport, so double click. It saves you some time instead of going click, install, click, create route. Click on the spaceport because that's where I wanted to go, create route. All right. Now you can't do anything with this until you you click the submit. So now we've submitted. Now let's go ahead and open this up. We know we're going to do aqueous liquids. And now we're going to pull up the extractor heads. Alright, in this configuration you can see that we'll pull in 35,000 units per hour. It's on a 15-minute cycle. Right now as it stands with an hour, it's 15 minutes, so it'll be 4 cycles per hour. I don't really like that configuration, so I normally go around a day. I go a day and 4 hours. Just from what I used to set it up when I was on my 12-hour shift at nighttime, I could get off work and be coming home, and it'd be right about the time that I would need to readjust anyway. You notice that it has dropped now from the 30-some thousand to 25,000, and we're on a 30-minute cycle now. So keep in mind these are 30-minute cycles as well. Your processors are on 30-minute cycles. All right. So now this is the hot spot. This is the hot spot here, of course. And these are where the extractors are, and you can see all the reds because they're overlapping each other once I made it a longer time. So now what I normally do is I just stretch them out to the outer edges of it. And if you can see, the total time is 800 for this full 1 day 4 hour cycle. It's going to be 875,000 units pulled in from this hotspot. And you can see here that this is where it starts off at, and then it just becomes less and less, and then it spikes again, and then it gets less spikes. I mean, that spiking is because as you're extracting it, the ore does move around on the planet itself. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. It's just the way the mechanics are for the game. But you can clearly see that right there. You can scrunch them in and get a little bit more out of them because the hottest spot is right in the dead center. Trying not to overlap, of course. And then these are just kind of like fed out whatever you want, you know. You can move it around. Look at that right there. You can see now that that done pulled it up to 900 because as you pull in the center, I mean the outer edges is moving around, and now you can see now that it's. So we'll go right down here to the 900 range. All right, with 900, it's going to be a little hard for that for that link to handle that kind of M3. So we'll just upgrade that one time, and that should handle it. Okay, and if you see here too, the percentage, it's 121% pulling in raw material. So 32,000 an hour, that's 16,000 units per cycle because we're on 30-minute cycles for a grand total of 900,000 units. Okay, we're going to click install the program, and now we have to link that to our spaceport. Okay, now that we've got that link to our spaceport, you could either wait for the 30-minute cycle, which would be crazy, or you can just go ahead and now and look at what's coming in. All right, incoming, 29,000 units. So we're going to double click on that. Well, single click because double don't work on that. Create route, double click. Now you can see that I've got incoming and outgoing. So 3,000 units per cycle will go in and feed these. And if it's extra, once it starts its cycle, it will feed in another 3,000. So that's 12,000. We should have extras. So every cycle it'll dump another. It'll jump in 12,000 every cycle. Okay. Basically that's a simple layout. I mean, uh, from start to finish, you don't have to be there. You don't have to do anything. You could be sitting anywhere in the space. You could put your space your command center anywhere on the planet. And let me give you a quick recap on that. He's coming around, comes around, comes around, and it stops right there. Like I said, I normally put that where I'm going to have this at because I need to see what I'm doing. And as soon as I click on that, it'll pull up what I'm extracting. And now you can actually see too. Now that we done submitted and pulled away from it, it went from 900,000 down to 659,000. It's crazy the way that the numbers are. So it's not fully 100% guaranteed where that's at. I mean, the spike here is now moved to here because that's where the planet will shift again and the material will move itself around. But you get a general idea about what it is that you're pulling in. Okay, if we're looking at what we need, and let me pull up a BPC of the Mimitar fuel block. And for those who don't know, you just type in what you want, right click, auto link, item type, fuel block blueprint. I want to see what we got and what we need. All right. Well, of course, you need the heavy water, the isotopes in the liquid ozone. But what comes from the PI is the coolant, the enriched uranium, the mechanical parts, the oxygen, and the robotics. Now, keep in mind, again, if one person is doing it, it's going to be hell. But if we spread that amongst the whole group, it will be easy for you to maintain. And you've got, if you say, I'm going to dedicate one planet to Helm Alliance, I'm going to provide them with whatever I get off of that one planet. You still got other planets that you can be getting passive income off of. And this, keep in mind, this is a great passive income. It's not hard to do. You come in, you set it, you click on to it once a day. You can shoot up your stuff uh, to wherever you're going. You know, it's not hard. I've got 340,000, 3,400,000 of the ionic solutions because I had this planet set up for something else. But you can just shoot it up and you can hold it into the, I mean, you've got to be in space. Now that's another thing. You've got to be in space in order to use, and you've got to be in the system in order to use your spaceports. But yeah, coolant. If we look at coolant, all we need for coolant is water, which we're provided here, and electrolytes. Now you'll check your planets. Each planet gives off a different material. Storm planet. Let's look at a storm real quick. Storm planet. Aqueous liquids, which is water. Base metals, which is reactive metals. Ionic solutions, which is the electrolytes. Noble gas, which is your oxygen. Suspended plasma is plasmoids. Now, oxygen, noble gas. There you go. So you pick one storm planet or a gas planet. Noble gas is usually a little bit better off of a gas planet. Base metals, ionic solutions, reactive gas. Reactive gas is for the oxidizing compound, but right there we're good for four pieces of the equipment that we need. So gas planets, barren planets, we can get noble metals off of. It's better to try to pull that in a low sec system or null sec, preferably, because high sec you just don't get much of a flow from for noble metals. But let's go back to our because I got plenty of CPU here. Um, so again, we had the coolant. We need water and electrolytes. Or enriched uranium, we need precious metals and toxic metals, which is the noble metals from a barren planet, uh, and toxic metals, which can come from ice planets and lava planets. Um, what else we need here? We need mechanical parts. Mechanical parts is a P2, which is taking reactive metals and precious metals. And then we need robotics. Now this is a little bit more because now you have to have two parts. And you've already seen my video. If you haven't, look me up on YouTube. But the mechanical parts and consumer electronics take two P1s, and then that makes a P3. The robotics is a P3 because you're taking those two parts and creating it. So robotics would be someone who's a little bit more experienced than PI, but oxygen, mechanical parts, the enriched uranium, and the coolant, anybody can do that. And just dedicate yourself saying, hey, look, I'm going to donate coolant. And all you have to do basically is get you, if we look at it, all we have to do is pull up a storm planet. You got aqueous liquids and ionic solutions right on the same planet. So, in theory, you could lay down, and let me just do that real quick. Shit, I don't have enough disk. Let me just take it from the corp wallet. All right. So in theory, let me just go back and get rid of the temperate planet. I want to show you how I'm gonna do that. Let me just show you real quick how you can do it all on one frippin' planet. You're gonna get your coolant from one planet. Storm planet, storm, storm, storm. Here's one. Undock. Stop ship. Storm planet. View. Alright, scan down. Let's look at us at our aqueous liquids. Where's the hot spot at for that? Oh yeah, right there. Okay. So first thing we're gonna do is build us a command center. Upgrade to level 5. However far you can upgrade. Submit. Extractor unit. I'm just gonna throw it down real quick. And now I need to also see where is my ionic solutions. Concentrated unit is right there. So I'm going to throw down another extractor and I'm going to put that right here. Okay, and now in the middle, because I'm going to span the two, I'm going to put the spaceport right in the center, connecting both of them. Okay. Um, Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the processor. I'm going to add two for each one, two water, two ionics or electrolytes. And from that, I'm going to give one coolant. I should have done it a little different. I should have, let me just do that. I know it's a little long video because I'm making mistakes because I was in a rush. I'm trying to rush myself because the wife is at school learning English. So I need to go get her, scoop her up. But I really want to get this video done while no one is here because I did one earlier and all I heard was bring bring from the telephone. Alright, so these will be our electrolytes. These will be our two waters. And I'm going to have one to create coolant. Alright, now let's link those together again. Link to the first link. Link. And if you notice, I've linked them to the outer edge because they will come into it. They will feed themselves through. Okay, so I will have it set up like that. And now let's click submit. That gets them all going. Let's get this one set up with electrolytes. Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm going advanced trying to get, like I said, in a hurry. Well, at least you can see that he's making mistakes, kind of situations. You can learn from mine, of course. Basic is what I needed because I'm going for the P1 from raw material. Basic, basic, Mike, basic, basic, basic. Linking again because I'm a jarhead. Alrighty, submit. Alright, so we're going to do electrolytes on this two sides. Water on this side. And coolant here. Alright, submit. Now I'm going to turn on my extractors. And because I know that the water is going to be a little bit more plentiful than the electrolytes, I'm going to pull in less with the water than I will the electrolyte. Trying to give myself an equilibrium kind of situation going on. Again, that's my time frame. I'm going to just stretch out these heads across this little lip right here. Install. Again, where you see what we got, install. And now link that to it. Come over here, get up this one. Extracting ionic solutions. I need to scan it back down again. There's the hot sweet spot for that one. And now I'm going to fill up, if you notice, I'm going to fill up the rest of my power grid with that. Trying to get in as much as I can with this one because electrolytes are a lot less. So I'll just fill it up, put it around all the white here. $3,000 units, basically what the other side was saying, 3,000. Install the program, link it. Okay, now that I know that them two are coming in, I've got an aqueous liquids coming in, so I'm going to take and create a route to here. I also have ionic solutions coming in, which is right here, creating a route to them two. They gave me a little warning there first, didn't they? Must have hit the wrong one. Okay, now I know that also I've got what I've got coming in is electrolytes and water, so I'm going to go ahead and route the water. Oh my goodness. Come on, Mike Jones. The water, I will create a route to here and also the electrolytes. Now, everything is done. It's going to produce coolant. I've got two filling it up, so each cycle should fill that up because I've got two here, because this takes 40 units each. This produces 20 units. This one produces 20, so that makes 40. So every time this cycles, this one should cycle because they're on the same half-hour cycle time. Well, actually, this is an hour. So it should be a plenty to keep that running all the time. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope I smashed some of the myths. Uh, as you can see, here's our command center. It's anywhere and anywhere you want to put it at. It's just I like to keep it close to one of the extractors so it keeps me in line, knowing where stuff is at. This one right here is a basic how you make coolant. I mean, it's pretty simple. Or you could just pull in mass amounts of P1, like this planet. You just pulled in all the water you could pull in. Next one, you pull all the ionic solutions you could pull in. Shoot it up from this planet and shoot it down to your base production planet where everything is being produced, kind of like what I've got going on these planets. I had raw material, so I changed the raw material into P1. So I was putting in plankton colonies and getting biomass. And if we look at my, yeah, so I just click that over here, transfer. Then I put back in 1 million, and now it feeds them up again. And now that gets them running. I've got them all linked to that one. Everything is running together very smoothly, producing plenty of biomass for making whatever I want to make with it. Okay, guys. Again, it's time for me to go get the wifey, so I'm gonna get off. But if you have any questions, get a mail to Demas store, and he will be able to help out as much as I can, of course. Again, recapping a small recap. You do not have to be at the planet that you're placing your command center on. You can do that from in space in the system. You have to be in the space and in the same system of your planet. Um, you have to be in space to shoot up from your spaceport. You do not have to place the command center in any specific area. It's just a good rule of thumb to put it close to where you're going to be extracting from, just so that it pulls you straight to that extractor unit, and you can reset it every day, every 2 days, depending on how often you want to do it. Um, and yeah, that's basically it. PI for Dummies. If you want another video with a layout on all the P1s or all the POS fuel, I'd be glad to do it. It works similar to what the coolant did. Oxygen, of course, you could just pull all the oxygen you want off of one planet because it takes, that is a P1 itself. The others are P2s. You could just take that P1 noble gas and turn it into oxygen and just straight jerk that off of the planet and take it to the corporate hangar office and drop it off in the corporate hangar, and then let the PI specialist take care of business and making the POS fuel. Okay, fellas, this is Demas Store, and I am over and